after the accident,
I was stuck paying all these medical bills.
The Witherspoon Law Group understands that you didn't deserve what happened to you, but you do deserve justice.
They weren't just there for me, they fought for me.
I care about what my clients are going through. We are in the fight of their lives.
We don't just fight for you, we fight with you and make sure you get the compensation you deserve.
And that's why we do what we do. And what we do is win.
Call 844-WE-WIN-44.
Welcome to Winning Wednesday. I am your host, Iris Gardine. I am so excited about today's show as we prepare for the end of the year and getting our things in order for next year. People want answers, right? One of the things I've noticed during COVID, certain people have actually developed special gifts and talents of all kinds. Some people have started quilting. Well, some people have started tarot card reading. And I had questions. So what I did is I reached out to a professional. He is a psychic medium. He is one of the best. So on this show, remember, we bring you the information that you can use, that you can win with. So please join me in welcoming Dexter, the psychic medium.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hi, Dexter.
How's it going?
Good. I am excited about today, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me. I noticed over COVID, I was seeing so many people like inviting people to buy tarot cards and learn how to read, and then you see people saying, "Oh, I can read now, and here are your cards." So, you don't want to just step in that world with anybody. And I'm afraid that some people may not even know to the extent what they're playing with, because that could be a touchy situation. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us the difference between being a psychic medium and a tarot card reader.
Oh, sure. So I'm Dexter Kendrick, and I would say that I practice all things spiritual wellness, right? So I'm a licensed doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, which is really just spiritual support for our bodily issues as well as our mind and our spirit. But I also am a psychic medium, which means all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. Mediums have an opportunity or the ability to speak with people who've crossed over. And a psychic is really just somebody who uses their vision to see into the future. But one of the things that I also teach classes on psychic development. I just finished a class on how to read tarot. One of the things that I think is important to understand is that we're all psychic. Like, all of us are psychic. How many of us have ever finished a sentence with somebody else at the same time they finish it, or thought about somebody before the doorbell rings or before the phone rings? I mean, that's a really small indication of some telepathy, and we're doing it all the time. I mean, even as babies, before we know how to speak, we know how to read the room. We know how to read body language. So we've been reading all of our lives, and mostly people who work as a professional psychic like myself, or even just the layperson, is just kind of using their senses to feel around their environment.
Okay, so what would you say to a person that is spiritually grounded in church? Is this something that goes against like religious beliefs, or can one kind of use, be spiritually grounded, but also, have a medium that they work with?
Yeah, this is a great question. I was raised in the Christian church.
Okay.
One of the things that when people discuss dialogues around the future, who made the future? Do you know what I mean? So regardless of your spiritual or religious background, there has to be an idea about some level of creation. You have to have some idea about the intelligence of nature and creation. And so honestly, I didn't struggle with it, because my question was always, when people felt, righteously about, their fundamental values about religion, spirituality is bigger than religion. So
yes.
I probably want to start there. Spirituality is bigger than religion. Christianity did not exist when Jesus was around. Most of the people who have some pushback on some of the dialogues regarding prophecy are people who are raised Christian, but perhaps they don't understand the full story. Jesus was doing miracles, and miracles is what we would call probably today as magic, right? Turning water into wine and raising people from the dead. I mean, this is what we see happening in allegedly Western medicine, and we also see this dialogue happening spiritually when people come back from really traumatic events. So it's not that big a leap to me. I'm not challenged by it. I don't
Okay.
feel offended if it's not something that individuals aren't ready to digest. I'm here to work with people who are ready. And one of the beauties about healing and healing conversations is that people will find you when they're ready. And sometimes, they're ready to hear everything you have to say. Sometimes it makes sense later. And I think we have to be okay with that.
Wow. Okay. Well, David is all in. He says, "Hey, what's up?" He said, "That's right, Dex." Yeah. Okay. So, I guess going into this season, do you have any type of feelings for like the economy as a whole and entrepreneurship and what kind of turns this season is taking? And then I think, Dex, maybe you should pull a few cards for me and see what the season has for me. And if you want to take a few questions and then we can get into some more conversation.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, the one request I have, especially in a live reading or a group session, is if you make your question specific or about a specific area of your life. And if you also could drop your birthday, that'd be really helpful as well. Just so that we're not a general reading, especially in front of a live audience, doesn't give everybody the wow factor of how succinct a reading really can be. So choosing an area of life or a specific question will allow us to go so deep very quickly, even on camera. So just an FYI for everybody who's listening. So your question to me was, can you say that again?
Just about the economy in the coming season and entrepreneurs, things to look. Oh, Leslie Lloyd says she has some questions. Perfect. Okay, Leslie, get your question. Yeah, drop your question. We need your name, your birthday, the area, right?
No, just your birthday and your specific question. That's
birthday and specific question.
Doesn't have to. You don't have to use the year. Just the day and the month of birth. Okay. So one of the things about the economy next year, the economy is going to be what we say. I just made a post about this on my Instagram at Love911 Tarot. Next year in Chinese astrology is a year of a water tiger. When we think of a tiger, we often think of quick movement, right, after periods of rest. So the economy is going to be, and water in Chinese medicine or in Chinese astrology is associated with money and businesses, enterprise, investments, right? Money that's supposed to be going long and strong and can withstand changes. Next year is going to be extremely volatile for a lot of money markets. So if you have your money invested in money markets, my recommendation would be that you have a strategy that is going to be able to withstand volatility, just like the ocean, right? There's a wave coming as far as money and investment and entrepreneurship is concerned next year. You want to be able to make sure you can sustain ups and downs in the with regard to money. And one of the things too, while on a larger scale, we're going to see a lot of businesses collapsing and a lot of new businesses growing, a lot of new business ventures opening up and making themselves known. This starts in February of next year, which is the agricultural new year, according to Chinese astrology. But what we're also going to see is that small, like even on our personal wallets, we're going to have to be taking care of our bank. Banks are going to be closing and moving your money to other banks. There's going to be shifting happening as far as consolidations, closures, because we used this year, which was the year of the ox, to kind of stabilize and see where we were after the debacle of 2020. So next year is going to be a new beginning as far as business is concerned. Just make sure your money doesn't, reach the bottom of the coffer.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So I have, we're still waiting on the questions. We have Charmaine. Today is her birthday, 11/17. But she didn't she didn't say her specific question.
All right, well,
she just said, what can you share with her today?
So let me go ahead. I'll just go ahead and discuss an energetic that I'm seeing coming up over top of her. Give me a moment. All right, there's a career movement that comes for you, Charmaine, this year around May. Well, next year around May. So happy birthday first, but next year around May, there seems to be some hard decisions that you're beginning to ask yourself and make right now. You don't seem to be so ready to kind of step outside of your normal place of employment, but it's coming. And it looks like it's a breath of fresh air when it comes. It comes around next May. I'm not sure if the business shifts or something happens with regard to your money. Your money stream begins to feel a clamp down around May, and you make a move because of it. So I want you to not only think in terms of positivity, but I want you to understand that all things are blessed. You can see this Knight of Swords here. You begin to recognize your worth and move in a direction that takes you to a place where you're a lot happier than you are right now. In fact, I'm seeing a good level of aggravation showing up when you're asked to do anything at this current position, or just in terms of how your movement regarding employment. Even if you're unemployed, there seems to be a good level of frustration that's showing up over your current position. That's not going to stay where it's at. So that's good news for you, especially since this looks like it's something that might be laying pretty heavy on your heart.
Okay, well, we're waiting. We know Leslie's birthday, but we don't have her question, so
she
we're
dropped
waiting.
A specific question, I see.
Oh, she did?
She's saying, I turned 30 in 6 months. What does the next few months look like as far as personal growth is concerned? All right, well, there seems to be some movement happening in your love life. You seem to be walking away from a certain pattern that you've had as far as your love life is concerned, especially not wanting the aggravation. Looks like you might have reached a little bit of burnout. One of the beauties about the wintertime is that we can use this opportunity to take a look back at summer, how we lived our summer as far as love and relationships is concerned, or how we've connected with other people. And we can nourish it now, right? If there's any bitterness over some things, that how things played out or didn't play out, if there's any energetic where, we probably, if we were like dating or feeling like we were giving too much of ourselves, or like overdoing it just in terms of reaching out for other people. I'm seeing you climbing some stairs, and that gives me indication that you're moving away from a certain period of time and moving into a new space. Now, you said your birthday was June 15th, and June 15th is Taurus. And yeah, there's lots of good movement coming your way next year. Once again, I would have preferred a specific question about a specific area, but love did show up for me. Does look like you're moving out of. She said, "Come on, Dexter." Okay, so you received it. Message received. I'm glad to hear that. but now's the time to do things that nourish the summer and make sure next summer is better than this summer was. So one of the things we can do is watch comedy, listen to. Okay, Gemini. Thank you. I'm thinking May 16th. Thank you. So Gemini, one of the things you can do is listen to music that makes you feel good, wear the color red, watch comedies. Don't forget to do some dancing if you can. Just make sure you're enjoying yourself right now. It's really important to do that as we begin this movement toward next week. Yeah, Kay Morales. If anybody who's in the, people are asking if they can ask. If you have any questions, just drop me a specific question. Include your birthday, if you will, so it can be specific for us. Or give me a life area that you'd like me to look into. It just helps us to move forward. I'm sorry, Iris. I didn't mean to kind of bogart.
Oh no, go ahead, Dexter. You're the man of the 30 minutes, and that's what we're here for. I want to connect the audience with someone that I know has this gift, that is a professional, that not over COVID is like, so I appreciate you being here. And then also for our clients that are on the East Coast at the firm, I can't leave that out. Dexter does acupuncture. So now that I know that, our clients that's been in a wreck and you're on the East Coast, I'm going to connect with Dexter on another level so we can make that happen for you. Because I know how acupuncture can help when you've been in a car wreck. Okay. I digress.
You asked me a question before, and I want to take this opportunity while I'm a guest on your show to answer it. The difference between a tarot reader and a psychic tarot reader, or just a psychic medium. A tarot reader is somebody who looks at the cards and lets the cards tell them your story, right? They're just translating the card, right? A psychic tarot reader is mostly working with their spirit guide and using the cards as a channel, like a PowerPoint slide, just to keep them focused on the person they're reading for. But a psychic tarot reader or a psychic does not need tarot cards to do a reading. You'll notice I pulled one card that I showed, but I'm not pulling cards that frequently. I actually don't need cards to read people. But when I'm in a venue or I'm on a call with somebody, it's helpful if I can just continue the stream of consciousness through my guide. So all you guys, there's no power in these tarot cards. So many people say tarot cards are, bad or evil, or, you can bring through a spirit. No, you can't bring through a negative spirit if you're not a negative spirit. So that's number one, right? So you have to, if you're living your life looking for the positive, if you have a dream, you recognize that you have to have a dream before you can have a dream come true. And whatever hiccups are coming your way, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get what you deserve, because you can't avoid the gifts that are coming your way, the gifts and blessings that are coming your way. So these cards have no power. None. They're not even necessary for a reading. The power, true power, comes from God. And as reflections of God, we have ability to access this information so that we can get greater clarity and hopefully make some of the lessons that we have to learn in life a little bit more tolerable.
Okay, so my birthday is July 28th. What do you see for
Leo.
me for yes, Leo, career and love?
Oh, okay. This is interesting because it looks like you are interested in hearing more of your voice, and I'm seeing you with some earphones on. I don't know if there's also something that you're doing as far as writing is concerned. Are you in the process of writing something? I don't know if it's a memoir.
I'm a published author.
That's what I see, but you're writing something else too. Something else
Oh,
is
well,
coming down the pipe.
Yeah, they're like Campbell's Soup for the Soul type books that Call My Mama Said. So yeah.
And I'm seeing you going on a promotional tour.
Oh,
That's the piece. I see that. Like I said, I see you seeing yourself talking, which is like on headphones, but you're being interviewed.
okay.
For something that you write. That's coming up in 2 years.
Okay.
So, and also too, there seems to be a level of kind of seeing how life works for other people as far as gifts and blessings are concerned. But you seem to be a bit doubtful about how far you can go. Have you experienced that?
Doubt. Yeah, don't we all experience that?
Well,
but then faith.
but
Faith, I have faith, right? When I have a vision that I know God has given me, I have faith that if I see it and I keep pushing, it's gonna come to fruition. So I'm not doubtful that I can't do the things that I feel like God has placed on me. I'm not doubtful of that.
Good, excellent. Because I see it turning around for you. I see it moving in a pace. And I think that the pace might be a little slower than you might like sometimes.
Okay.
And, you know, when we're in a waiting period, that can leave us open to, you know, certain thoughts that might feel a little pessimistic. It doesn't look like you stay there. That wasn't my intention with my speaking. But it does look like it comes up from time to time, especially when things feel slow or when you might hit a block or when it's time to take a pause. It's important during this time of this season of winter to take appropriate breaks and recognize where we might be trying to force things. So if you're trying to come up with new material or new missives, and it feels like you're pushing or swimming upstream where it's not coming, it's because this season is time released blessings. It's not the same. It's not the same speed as in spring or summer. So just reminding yourself to be in alignment with the season and recognize that God's not going to leave you hanging.
So nothing about love, just.
Oh, sorry. Well,
so this
you asked
book
about
too.
2 areas. I'm flowing. So when I flow, I have to the material, this information isn't coming from me. It's coming from my guide. So I have to I gotta let it flow. As far as love is concerned, I'm seeing a trip. It looks romantic. It kind of feels a little bit friendly. It doesn't feel hot and steamy, but it does look like it shows up around the early next summer for you. You seem to be holding hands with somebody around water. So I think you might be at a beach or something like this. It feels like the beginning of something, right? And it feels like, you know, connection. That's not coming from below the equator, right? I was just talking to some of my students about how women relate and how women love. And one of the things is that somebody has to touch their heart first before the cauldron below begins to start boiling, which is the actually opposite for men, which is the way to a man's heart is typically through sexuality. But anyway, nonetheless, I do see you having something beginning next summer. Around June. This number 4 of Wands says it happens when you're away from home.
Okay, so we had Shani. 11-9. Will my business have a financial burst before the end of 2021?
I don't see a burst. I see a holding on and a maintaining as we move toward the end of the year. So what I don't see is failure, but what I do see is I don't see that there's a significant burst of growth. This isn't the season for that. Season for growth, it happens after February of next year, which is what I think you'll see, especially as we move. There's some things happening in your horoscope. So once we move into next year and after February, you'll notice that some things are calling you to kind of make some changes. And step up to the plate. Now that's what's the way you manage February indicates the success of your business next year. This year, it really is just trying to manage and maintain.
Okay.
Kay wanted to know what you think about her, but you don't need me to answer that because Iris is right here. What do you think about Kay Morales?
I don't know. Okay.
She doesn't know you, Kay. That's your answer.
I'm sorry. What should I think? Is it some? I don't know. Kay, give me more information. I'm not a medium.
I thought you guys were like best friends or relatives.
I mean, I don't know if it's an old classmate. The name Morales is a name that I've seen, but I'd have to look back. Kay, I'm sorry. I think you're awesome.
We love you, Kay.
We love you, Kay. Okay.
If you have a specific question, Kay, about your personal life, and happy to field that.
Okay, there you go with Robbie Bands.
Okay, Robbie Bands, 514. That is Taurus, and I've made risky investments months ago. I feel ahead, and I see life-changing rewards ahead. Should I be expecting a serious crash, or should I sit on my hand and accept what I see is coming? There's volatility coming next year, period. You might be new to the feed today. There's volatility coming after February because this is going to be a watery tiger year in Chinese astrology. So it means to do what you can. These are investments that, like, for example, the market, if you're doing what's called dollar cost averaging, meaning you're investing in your investments monthly, which can help to smooth out any bumps that might show up in the volatility. We also associate money with water, the volatility of the financial ocean, then you should be good to go. The worst thing you probably could do is to pull out, right? The worst thing you could probably do is like to try and cash in and pull out. There's penalties involved. It will probably cost you more. The best strategy, especially if these are long-term investments, and it sounds like these are investments that you have access to if you wanted to, but it looks like right now you're going to have to ride it out. The justice card's turned upside down. There is some karmic implications to investing. It's always a risky endeavor. You will lose some. It's inevitable. But if there's a long-term investments, you'll also make back what you have. Karma works both ways. The way that we manage any period in time has a direct impact with the benefits we'll see. This actually is going to lead you to different investments that are coming next fall after September. But if you act preemptively, and also if you are in react mode, you really stand to lose more than you do to gain. So hopefully you have a really good financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I just know money because we all have to pay bills. And so, hopefully that was helpful and speaks to your heart. I do see that there is a loss, but you don't go broke.
Well,
and it leads you to something new that's lucrative, for sure. You guys, I don't know if I can take this opportunity to kind of say, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Love 911 Tarot. I do a live show weekly at 8:30 right here on Media Room 360.
We all tuning in and liking and subscribing. Yeah, everybody stop now. Like, subscribe.
please, just join us. It's a good time. I play music, we chit chat, etc. Iris, I'm sorry, I'm giving back to you.
No, that's definitely what I was going to say next. Let's take this time to make sure that they know how to reach you on social media and all of the outlets so that they can keep those conversations going with you. I think you've, provided some very valuable information. And I'm sure our audience can understand now the difference between the medium and we have another one, the medium or the tarot reader. So we have Danielle James, 11-1-91.
Yeah, I don't see a question.
I don't see a question.
Danielle,
we need your question.
Give us a specific question, Danielle, and I'm gonna chat with Iris for a second. One of the things that I said that I want to say is I'm not discouraging people from buying and reading tarot.
Oh yeah.
I think it's important to understand there's really no competition in terms of getting a reading from somebody who's a tarot reader. The way to choose a good psychic. This is what when you brought up the distinctions between them, I said this is an opportunity for me to educate how to choose a good psychic. Mm-hmm. A good psychic, which is a subjective term, right? There's no licensing body for psychics. Anybody can say they're a psychic. The way that you know a good psychic is literally if they're a good psychic for you. And the way that you know a psychic is a good psychic for you is if you talk to them and you like them. You like what they have to say. You like how they put together the answers to your questions. You like how they frame your life. Are they speaking life into what they see showing up, even if it's challenging, or is it life draining? Right? Even in relations, it's a relationship agreement. So even in relationships, when times, information comes up in relationships that might be challenging, we have to decide, is there still value in what I'm seeing in the relationship? And so when you get into a dialogue about your life with a psychic, you are receiving information that is from a higher place, hopefully. It should speak to your heart. That's how you know. It's coming from a higher place, and a place that leaves you feeling inspired. Even if it's something that you're going to have to get ready for, you at least feel inspired because you know that it's coming and you know you're going to have the skills to manage it, right? And so I think it's important to say that because sometimes people can, you know.
So is that why people pretty much reach out? And Danielle, we'll get to your question in just a minute, and then that'll be our last question for today. But is that why people reach out to just for hope or to kind of prepare for what's coming? Yeah. You know, I've never on my own reached out. Now I've been in stores and people have walked up to me and told me things about my family. You know, and I had to run home and ask my mother, is this true? Did this, you know, so that's why I believe some people are gifted because that person didn't know me. They didn't know my family history, you know, so
yes.
I just encourage everyone to find the right person for them and just to make sure they didn't go buy cards from Walgreens yesterday and just reading the cards that they are connected. Because if you're looking for hope, you want to make sure, you know, it's a professional.
And even if they're just practicing, you know, my recommendation is if somebody is just learning how to do tarot, it's probably not appropriate for them to start charging right away. And the reason I'm saying this is because when we associate a monetary value to something, we have an expectation, right? And for somebody who's just learning tarot, there's going to be fumbles. They're still crawling before they walk. I didn't charge for my readings for like 10 years when I was beginning. I never thought I could charge for readings because you have to get used to letting go of other people's expectation. I just finished a tarot course, which will be available on demand very soon. So that's why I say, if you're interested in learning tarot, go ahead and follow me so that you can know when these videos are available. Very short, brief lessons that you can do at home and learn how to read and connect with your spirit guide. But I think it's important to understand that, like, people who are beginning need people to practice on. So ask the person, you know, are you practicing, which is fine, right? If you're practicing, I would prefer to make a donation or not to pay, right? And if you've been doing this for a while and you charge, then, you know, see if you like their energy. It's probably good to watch their live and kind of see how they talk and engage with other people. I follow a number of psychics that I'm never going to pay, right? I'm never going to, because they're entertaining for me, but I couldn't see them giving me a word for my life. So,
right.
So,
right. Has to have some substance to it. Okay, so let's get to Danielle's question. Then Mike said, is it too late? Mike, if you get your question together in 30 seconds, we can get it answered. 30 seconds, Mike.
Mike, drop a specific question if you would, Mike. Give us your birthday too, and we'll see if we can fit you in. So Danielle, what's in store for me as it pertains to my love life? And her birthday is November 1st, which is Scorpio. I feel as if I've reached a great place in my career and personal goals, but my love life seems to be struggling. I'm ready for true, genuine, I assume that love. Okay, love. What do you see for me? Give me a second. This is for Danielle. Okay, Danielle, there seems to be some energy over top of you that seems to be quite serious. And I think that's why you might have seen that your love life might have felt like a desert. It's been a little bit undernourished, right? You can see here that it looks like it may have run a bit dry. One of the pieces, too, I think that you're going to notice there's a lot more socialization coming up for you in the next year. And I don't know if that's something that you're into, but it looks like there's a shift, right? There's a shift for how people kind of get in touch with you and gain access to you. You are going to start showing up, right? Popping your head out of your hole, right? You have a number of different endeavors that are important to you, but for whatever reason, it's been perhaps holding you back from meeting people in other settings. And the way that you show up at work is not who you are in your personal life. And not everybody gets to see that. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing showing up for you. You'll notice this movement all around May, when the sun is opposed your sun, 6 months away from your birthday, that you start saying yes to life and start saying yes to opportunities and to go out and kick it with other people without any kind of serious outcome there. This devil card is saying that it looks like it's a little bit challenging for you to change habit patterns, but that is a contract, which means it's somebody's going to show up and snap you out of it. I do think it ends up being a fling first. So please don't be disappointed if it doesn't go the distance. Look, some of y'all have to learn how to start respecting the friend with benefits and the fling, especially if you're just getting back in the ring, because there's value. There's value to that position. There's value to everybody that's working in it, toward a project or a goal. And people who come into our lives are working toward.
Don't make me call you back after this. Like, here are my $20. What you talking about, friends with benefits? And value to that.
Realized I think that's my love language.
Dexter, I'm watching you. at your show, I'm gonna set my reminders. I'm in on this conversation. And Mike, how long is it gonna take for me to fall into some what?
Big money.
Oh,
big
okay.
Money. Talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. You probably have already had hundreds of thousands of dollars pass through your hands, right? So just in our lifetime, we've all touched at least $1 million by now, right? We may have given it to other people. It may have come at different points in times in our lives, but so I don't know if you're asking about holdings or if you're asking about how, before you're sitting with that kind of money in the bank. My guide is kind of rolling my eyes at the question, to be honest. But long story short, if you're looking to see more money, there does seem to be some money that comes down the pipe for you. I don't know if you work with cars or if you're selling a car. There's some kind of money that comes to you through a car. And I'm not sure why. That's delivery or driving Lyft or Uber. I'm not sure. There's something about car, or maybe it's a car share.
He better get to detailing. He owns a detail shop, so he better go get some contracts. He better get out there and wash and wax.
There we go. Your business with regard to cars brings you some more money this year because there's a new business venture that you walked into.
Okay, that says a lot. Well, Dexter, thank you so much for your time.
That's awesome.
That 30 minutes went so quick.
Thank you so much,
and we all are following Dexter at Love 911 Terra.
Yeah, follow me at Love 911 Terra, you guys.
And we all are tuning in to Media 360 at what time? What time do your show come on?
8:30 a.m. 8:30 Eastern time on Thursdays.
8:30 Eastern time on Thursdays. Yes. Thank you, Dexter.
Hey,
hope you all have a wonderful winning Wednesday. Mike. And we out.
Bye-bye.
After the accident,
I was stuck paying all these medical bills.
The Witherspoon Law Group understands that you didn't deserve what happened to you, but you do deserve justice.
They weren't just there for me, they fought for me.
I care about what my clients are going through. We are in the fight of their lives.
We don't just fight for you, we fight with you and make sure you get the compensation you deserve.
And that's why we do what we do. And what we do is win.
Call 844-WE-WIN-44.